Microsoft is about to drop the ban hammer on unhinged employees cheering on Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, they made a statement basically saying they're going to be looking into it and calling it out. You know what, Microsoft, good on you, because a lot of Blizzard employees, which is owned by Microsoft, have been exposed recently for saying vile, disgusting things. We're talking about it right now. Now, here is a banger thread that's been trending on X. It's a thread of Blizzard employees and contracted employees for Blizzard stories celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I mean, this exposes a lot of information. We're going to go through this detail by detail, just react to all of this. I'm sure you might have seen this already, but I wanted to give my take on this entire situation going forward, because this is wild to see how many people have gone mask off. Now, why should you care, guys? Because this isn't just about Blizzard, it's about major studios and who they hire, who they promote, and what kind of voices they allow to represent the gaming industry and gaming culture as a whole. When devs are openly laughing at someone being killed and companies look the other way, right? Look the other way. It says a lot about the values driving the games we play. Interestingly enough, former Blizzard developer Grums shared this mega thread exposing dozens of current Blizzard employees and contractors that are celebrating or excusing Kirk's death online. And we're talking senior writers, designers, narrative leads, people that are literally shaping World of Warcraft lore and working on titles under Microsoft's umbrella. Let's go ahead and take a look at these, because some of these are direct celebrations while some try to hide behind wordplay. Blizzard Entertainment is in the middle of yet another shitstorm, and this time it's not about a broken game or a failed expansion to a game. It's about employees that are current and former openly celebrating the assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Yes, you heard that right. Developers that are connected to one of gaming's most iconic studios are posting about a man's death, and the backlash is getting pretty ugly here, guys. The first person we're going to show in this entire thread has a Twitter handle of Dr. Hazel. Apparently they are a senior writer, a narrative designer, presently at Blizzard, previously Bungie. And we're going to see some of the stuff that they're reposting and tweeting themselves. So right at the bat, you can see Charlie Kirk died in the world he helped create. So this is basically them saying, hey, he was a hateful person. He encouraged hateful rhetoric, when it's far from the opposite. If you follow Charlie Kirk, you can see that he actually wanted to have an open dialogue, an open discussion to debate different opinions, different ideas, and give you guys his side of the argument about why he would say what he believes in. And it never engaged in any kind of violent rhetoric. But these people are just nuts. And you can see some of the tweets that they are reposting, or I guess actually on Blue Sky, whatever they call them on Blue Sky. Catherine M. Valente, who's a Blizzard author writing for World of Warcraft stories. And you can see some of the stuff that they're reposting are also nonsense, celebrating, mocking Charlie Kirk's death, sharing different articles and links to stuff that people are saying, engaging in this nonsense. You can even see they had a sass tweet right here saying, hey, remember how the CEO class that assumed they were invulnerable to the chaos they created for others started existentially freaking out after Luigi killed one of their own? That's going to be nothing next to the influencer class freak out. So basically mocking people like Tate, Kirk, this influencer class freak out that they're wanting to promote here. And you know what? There is a sense of a violent rhetoric against conservative influencers at this point. And again, here's some of the stuff that Valente, I guess I'm pronouncing the name right, works on for World of Warcraft. Folk and fairy tales. Not too long ago, they were actually promoting Fairy Tales of Azeroth is finally out. My story, Sister's Another Word for Always, is in there, and it's illustrated and so beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to read it. The problem is that these people creating lore for a game like World of Warcraft can't resist promoting their ideologies, their woke narratives, their actual hateful nonsense. You see, to them, they think hate speech is speech that they hate, when that's not what it is. They can't stand somebody would have a difference of opinion, which is why they're openly mocking Charlie Kirk. You could even see that they have apparently written an article celebrating the assassination, which, you want to zoom in here, you could see the nonsense, like the real unhinged nonsense that they've written Substack, and it's disgusting vitriol, guys, to where I don't even want to read it. Like, it made my stomach churn. But the fact that they're saying stuff like, damn, the left sure knows how to party when somebody gets assassinated, should tell you everything that you need to know about somebody like Valente. And here are more comments from them about this situation. You can see, flame me if you like, and I might be wrong. But look, between all of us, the left doesn't often do the lone gunman thing. The left does small groups arguing about theory so long and furiously, we alienate each other into inaction. Plus those sunglasses and that haircut, okay. And it becomes like an unhinged talking point. You see, so various right-wingers are calling for all Dems to be arrested, getting reporters fired for being insufficiently mournful, and calling for lifetime social media bans for wrong speak on Kirk. The only thing that stops this is the shooter turns out to be the most conservative straight white boy ever. Apparently, it's peanut butter blocking time on this app. Good times, and over a skeet about empathy. And if you continue down the thread, you could just see so much exposure, so many receipts. Just going down the line, you can see people like Lee Knox Ostertag, who's a writer for Blizzard Stories for World of Warcraft. Then you also have Jared Gillis, who's a Blizzard technical designer for World of Warcraft that's reposting inflammatory posts on the assassination, who, according to Bifuriasum, who made this thread, said that he had so many reposts about Charlie Kirk's assassination that it would fill it up, saying this is not a tech designer, this is an activist. And the story repeats. I mean, you got Matt Villers, who's a Blizzard employee, as a principal encounter designer on World of Warcraft, condemning the mourning of Charlie Kirk. And apparently most reposts by Villers agree that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him, calling any mourning perverse. You got Nikki Gazelle Crenshaw, who works for Blizzard as an associate principal user researcher for the World of Warcraft franchise, reposting agreements that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. And you just see all of this constantly in the gaming industry, like all these people that have the woke mind virus. And this is where the hypocrisy kicks in, guys. When violence happens to somebody on the left, the narrative is always tone down the rhetoric, stop the hate, words have consequences. But when it's somebody on the right, suddenly it's, who cares? Don't police the internet. Don't police my empathy. And I don't owe you compassion. Isn't that funny how it works? You can't have it both ways, wokies, okay? Either political violence is always wrong, or you're just proving that it's about tribalism and not principle. And that's what we're seeing here, guys, tribalism. And when game developers of all people are cheerleading this, it damages the reputation of the entire gaming industry. Like I said, to Microsoft's credit, they did respond quickly. Remember, they do own Blizzard, but the statement that they put out saying they're aware of the views expressed by a small subset of employees regarding recent events, that they are taking matters like this very seriously. They're currently reviewing each situation. Comments celebrating violence against anyone are unacceptable, do not align with our values. That's a lot stronger than what we usually see. Sony, for example, fired a dev allegedly at Sucker Punch a while back for inflammatory post, and they have never said a word publicly about it. They haven't even made a statement in regards to it. Microsoft at least admitted that this is a problem, and they promised to review it. The question is, will they actually take action here? But here's the bigger picture, guys. Why should viewers like you care? Well, here's the bottom line. If gaming continues down this path where major studios are dominated by activists instead of actual creatively sound people, you're going to keep getting games with broken launches, forced narratives, and developers who think that moral grandstanding for, I guess, their ideologies matter more than actual fun, more than the actual game they should be making. Blizzard honestly had a chance to clean house years ago, several years ago, after all the harassment scandals, after the lawsuits, after the mass layoffs, but instead they doubled down on bringing in more of the same type of people who thrive in ideological echo chambers. These people are toxic. That's why the culture hasn't changed, and it's why we're still seeing stuff like this today. So here's my question for you guys. If you found out the devs behind your favorite game were celebrating violence online, would that change how you see their work, or do you separate the art from the artist in these types of situations? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like. If you didn't like it, hit that dislike. Subscribe. We're on the road to 95,000 subscribers. I'd love for you guys to be part of the 8BE Nation. I'll see you on the next video, guys.